When you have already collected a lot of beautiful mushrooms, you probably feel sorry to throw away some of them when after cutting them, they turn out to be riddled with worms. That's the pain of finding large boletus and porcini. Sometimes the worms get there first before you. From time to time, healthy mushrooms have been used for freezing, pickling, or for soups, and for drying where those slightly perforated mushrooms with traces of wormholes were intended, and of course, healthy, large ones, depending on demand. Although there are recommendations to soak mushrooms in water with salt to get rid of worms, mushrooms for drying should not be washed or soaked because it is difficult to dry them, and older mushrooms will literally dissolve during drying. They should be cleaned with a soft bristle brush or brush. The worms come out of the mushroom during drying, and they also dry, so we throw away the particles that remain on the tray and collect large slices into the jar. These white worms are fly larvae and are not toxic themselves. Flies are insects that include, among others, the vegetable fly, the mosquito, the housefly, the black beetle, the bloodworm, and the fish fly. We are aware that insects carry various types of microorganisms, viruses, and diseases, but no one eats raw mushrooms but thermally processed ones. Thermal treatment removes all bacteria and viruses. Experienced mushroom pickers reject mushrooms with worms because they cause indigestion and are therefore not collected by them. So it's not the ingestion of the worm that should worry us. The fact that a mushroom has worms may mean that the mushroom is rotting. If it rots, there is a possibility of food poisoning from rotten mushrooms. According to data from the State Sanitary Inspectorate, nonspecific poisoning may occur after consuming edible mushrooms when they are overripe, spoiled or old. The choline contained in them, under the influence of bacteria, can turn into a compound with an effect similar to muscarine, a strong toxin which is found in the red toadstool. Mushrooms must not be collected in plastic bags or plastic buckets. Due to the lack of air access, they become steamy and the protein contained in them curdles and decomposes. In this way, edible mushrooms will become poisonous and may cause serious food poisoning. Mushrooms should only be collected in airy wicker baskets. We throw away heavily infested mushrooms with a lot of live worms, because it's about the taste of the dried mushroom, not the taste of the dried worm. I use highly worm-infested mushrooms to create mycelium in the garden, under trees with which they form a symbiosis.